All right, you checked over your homework there, and we're ready to move on. I'm gonna check something real quick. Okay, that's good. Today is determine whether something is a linear function. We'll be doing that. Is that loud enough? Can you hear that? All right. And of course, everybody's favorite, graph. Okay, so we'll be graphing some lines today. We'll be graphing on the Cartesian coordinate system. So, a couple of things. Slope, y equals mx plus b, really algebra 1, isn't it? Okay, a lot of review today again. We're still reviewing. So, if you're staring intently at your computer on the PDF, as I'm sure you are, getting this up, I think you should do pretty well today. All right. Let's solve for y on this first one right here, and then let's solve for y. Why are we solving? Why do I want you to practice to solve for y? Well, because we want y equals mx plus b. Okay? Where that b is our intercept, and where that m is our slope. So they're going to need to this is a skill you need. That's why I'm going to have you do it. So what do? You're going to get everything on one side but y. Everything on one side but y. Give you a 30-second head start on me, and then I'm going to do number 1. Beautiful weather weekend, wasn't it? Yesterday I went down to Beach City down in that area, and they have a reserve down there and did a 6-mile hike, Mrs. Grub and I. They have 2 wonderful waterfalls if you enjoy that kind of thing. It's kind of a big gorge outside of Beach City. All right, I'm going to take that 7x over, so I'm going to have 2y equals negative 7x plus 6. And then, of course, I need to divide by 2. So, can we get some fractions? We sure can. That's okay. Y equals negative 7x over 2. I'll simplify that to 3. So, looking ahead, we'll know our intercept is 3. Okay, x is 0, y is 3. We're just going to cross the y-axis. We have a slope of negative 7 over 2, rise over run. But in this case, since it's negative, it's going to go down 7 and over 2, isn't it? Refreshing your memory there. See if you can knock that last one out. Number 2 now. Slope intercept form. Graphing a line. Golf team were out today after 10:30. We're leaving, playing the golf tournament. Getting close to the end of the golf season though. Not much left. Take the x over. I'll have 1/2 y negative x minus 4. How do I get rid of that half? Well, I'm going to multiply this side by 2. Now be careful, everything needs to be multiplied by 2 over there. So I'm going to end up with y, 2 times 1/2. These end up canceling, I end up with y. Here I'm going to end up with negative 2x minus 8. And there you are, again, in your slope intercept form. So again, why am I practicing this? Because we're going to need to be putting stuff in y equals mx plus b. Got it, Sid? I had a girl. All right. So linear function slope, y-intercept, x-intercept. and slope-intercept form, a couple things just to make yourself familiar with as we roll through this. Mx plus b, we know that, if it turns into function, f of x equals mx plus b, where you've had this already. So I think you should feel pretty comfortable here. Slope, lots of slopes out there. Who wants to go roofing? Have you ever been on the roof? You have a slope. Okay, so don't have a problem roofing a 412. Anybody know it? Because that's what roofers say, a 412 pitch. What does that mean? Well, that means for every 4 feet it goes up, it goes over 12, isn't it? Okay, rise over run. Okay, now if you get to be a 12-12 pitch of a roof, does anybody want to stand on that? No, that would be basically, anybody know the angle of that would be if it was 12, okay, 12 over, 12 up. This is 12 and this is 12. You got to remember a little bit from geometry. What's this angle right here? It'd be a 45, wouldn't it? Can you walk up a 45-degree angle? No. So if you're a roofer, you got to put jacks on that. It's a really pain. It's a lot harder. So, all right. So there's some different slopes for you. And 1 foot, 1 run. So flatter roof, of course, or just locally. As we start to think about rise over run. Later on, we'll say change in y minus 1, y of 1 minus y of 2 over x of 1 minus x of 2. Change in y over change in x is your slope. I'll show you that formula here in a second. Now, sometimes it might have 2 here and 1 here. It doesn't really matter as long as you match up your sets or pairs there. All right. So this data is a little skill that we're going to need to go about. Is this data, could it represent a linear? So if there's going to be a linear, if something's going to be a linear, it has to have a constant change in x and a constant change in y. Let's see what's going on with this x. What's it going up by here? It looks like 2, 2, 2. Okay, do we have a constant change in that? Yeah, it looks like we do, don't we? What's going on with my y? Going up by 1, going up by 1, going up by 1, going up by 1. So, looks like things are right. We have 2 over 1, 2 over 1, 2 over 1, 2 over 1. Is it going up very constant? Is this a linear? Yeah. What's another way we can figure that out? All right, graph it, couldn't you? So if you get stuck on one, you graph it and see, and you'll probably be able to determine if it's a linear. So we need a constant change in x and a constant change in y to be a linear. Take a look at this next one. Give you a second. How about my x? Is it changing at a constant? What is it? Going up by 1? How about my y? So we have 1, 1, 1, 1. Here we're going up by 2. Here we're going up by 4. Here we're going up by 8. Not good, is it? Okay? Look, that would be 1 over 2, 1 over 4, 1 over, it's not constant. Like our previous one was just, everyone was the same, wasn't it? So, not going to work. Not a linear. How are we feeling there? Everybody okay with that skill? Awesome. I think we're good. All right, here you go. Change in y over change in x. I'm going to give you the formula, which is right. Oops, I thought I had the formula there, but maybe I don't. We're always looking for that constant change in y and change in x. So rise over run. Again, you might look at it, they might have it this way. Y of 2 minus y of 1 over x of 2 minus x of 1. It really doesn't matter which value. These two have to match up. The first two have to be the same pair. The second two have to be the same pair. So there's your slope. And you should remember that from Algebra 1. Certainly was drilled into you back your freshman year. Everybody okay? See a couple people writing a few things down. Give me a second. Question? Hey, you forgot your phone. Oh. That's supposed to be funny, but. All right. Graph this line. We'll start with the point the point -1, -3. So we got to find that point, of course. Here it is, -1, -3 puts us at this spot right here. -1, -3. Now, what else do we have? Well, we have our slope. Our slope is 5/2. This is our rise. And this is our run. Rise over run. So, my rise is 5, so I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go over 2, it's a positive rise, so I'm gonna go over 2, run, 1, 2, so there's my new point. I'm gonna label that point. My x is 1, my y is 2, and then we can connect those lines. And there's our linear, of course. This point was -1, -3. You'll really get in the habit of at least labeling 2 points, especially on your assessments. Okay, so we want 2 points there, especially on your assessments as we start to have those. Label those points. So given a slope and a point, my friends, how do we feel about doing that? Everybody feel okay they could do that? Take a shot at this one if you would. Maybe sketch a little graph out on your paper. 3, 1 is our first point right here. It's a positive slope. And if you want, you can graph it on the same line if you want. If you put it on the same one, it's fine with me. It's your notes, do what you need there. Or don't do it at all, I guess. So we have 4, 3. 4 is my rise. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So let's label that point. Down here, of course, was 3, 1. Careful here. This looks like it's going to be x at 6. X at 6. Is that right? I think it is. And my y at what? Y at 5. So notice my x. I had 3 here, 6 here. What did it go? Well, it went what? It went 3, didn't it? Notice my y. 1 here, what here? 5, how far did it go? It went 4. Questions there? All right, last thing, so we knocked this, oh, we got a couple more things, I'm sorry, I didn't say last thing. Intercepts, sometimes the easiest to find. We can plug 0 in for the x and get our y value, and we can plug 0 in for y and get our x value. Very useful tool to graph a line. All we need is 2 points. So if you don't want to put it in y equals mx plus b, if you don't want to use y equals mx plus b, you can always use the intercepts, which is handy and dandy to find where it crosses the x-axis and the y-axis. Let's try one of these. Again, should be some skill that we had. So here's our equation. So we're going to plug in 0 for x. Now if you solve for y, it's going to give you your intercept. See what you can do there, plugging in 0 for x. We're going to turn around and do the same. We're going to plug in 0 for y and do the same thing, but of course it's going to be our y value. So now it's just some simple solving here, and you'll get your intercepts and see if you can sketch a little quick graph. Plot those 2 points. And again, keep drawing out a graph. That's Mike, you get the same one, draw a separate one, it's all good. So this first one, I'm going to divide by -2 right here, right? And that's going to give me what, -8 right here? Is that one of my points? It is. 0 to -8. Let's see, if I divide by 4, that negative's gone. Divide by 4 here, I'm going to get 4 here. So see if you can graph 0, -8. X is 0, y is -8. That's where it's crossing the y-axis. X at 0, y at -8 is where it's crossing the y-axis. And 4, 0, x at 4, y at 0 is where it's crossing. And there we have it. Down here, 0, -8 is this guy here. Right up here is our 4, 0. Handy dandy way to graph a line, intercepts, okay? So let's think about that. As you remember from Algebra 1, there's really 2 basic ways to graph. mx plus b, right? mx plus b, mx plus b, mx plus b. Get your slope, your intercept, which we just practiced. A second way is to get those intercepts. Plug in 0. Let's look at the process again, make sure everybody's on board. So the equation was 4x minus 2y equals 16. So plug in 0 for x, 0 for x, get your y. Plug in 0 for y, and get your, plug in 0 for y, and get your x. How we doing? Everybody okay? Algebra 1 stuff, huh? Algebra 1 stuff. Could you try one more? Just find those intercepts for me. Just find those intercepts if you can. The equation is 6x minus 2y equals -24. So plug in 0 for x. Thank you, those of you engaging today, working for me. I appreciate it. So you're actually working for yourself. put 0 in for x, I think I'm gonna get positive 12. Can anybody confirm that? Is that right? Okay. 0 in for y. 0 in for y. Looks like -4. Is that correct? Okay. Give you a second if you're graphing. This is a lot of fun for a Monday morning, isn't it? Yes, sir. Yeah. We need some more of this. All right. X at 0, y at 12. Hard to say if I got enough spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Way up here. 0, 12. -4, 0, -4. X is -4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. -4, 0. So this guy, whoops, is coming up there. That's -4, 0 there. Didn't come out too good. Intercepts. How do we feel? Everybody okay? So what are our two options to graph a line? Mx plus b, right? Y equals mx plus b, or find the intercepts by plugging in 0. Everybody feel good? Last thing for your enjoyment today is, so I guess we're gonna graph by slope intercept. My bad, I thought we had one more. Let's put this in slope intercept and see if we can graph this. Get our. So the equation is -4x plus y equals -1. Get that guy in slope intercept form. Give you a little 30, 40 second start on it. See if you can graph this line with y equals mx plus b. So what's keeping y from being by itself, of course, is that 4, so we're gonna take him and add him over there. So we add him over, we're gonna get y equals positive 4x minus 1. Remember, that's over 1. So my rise is 4, and my run is 1. My intercept right there is -1. So -1. So x is 0. Y at -1, that is your y, we slope intercept form, okay? Rise 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, run 1, it is a positive slope. This is x at 1, y at 3, and there you have it. Review, isn't it, everyone? Hopefully you're just engaged enough to get your mind going back with this concept of slope intercept and finding your intercepts themselves. Everybody okay? I think I did have one more, but I'm ready to move on if you guys are. We can use your calculator, of course, the graph can help you if you have the graphing calculator, not important. I'm going to skip this one for today and go to, let's go ahead and find the intercepts here. Let's find the intercepts here. 5x is equal to 15y plus 30. Find the intercepts. Sketch a quick little graph. So we'll put in 0 for x. I'm putting in 0 for x value. What's my y value gonna be? Well, I'm gonna have to take the 30 to the other side, so I'm gonna have negative 30 equals 15y. Divide by 15, looks like y is negative 2. Now I'm gonna have 5x is equal to 15 times 0 plus 30. So now I'm putting 0 in for y. And it looks like I have to divide by 5, because that's gonna be 0 here. So it looks like it is 6. Did I get my intercepts right? Okay, let's graph those guys now. And x is 0, y is negative 2, x at 0, y at negative 2 puts us here. X at 6, y is here 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. X at 6, y at 0. And there we have it. How we doing? Everybody okay? Feel okay about it? Good, I do too. Last thing today is some constant functions. The vertical line is undefined, the horizontal line is, the slope is 0. What does a vertical line look like? Well, a vertical line on our Cartesian, okay, would be a line going vertical. These are x equals 2, whatever number it might be. Any x equals line is undefined slope. X equals lines are undefined slope. Horizontal lines, on the other hand, they're going to be a y equals. This could be y equals 4, horizontal, and it has a slope of 0. So x equals are vertical, y equals, these are constant functions, they're just straight up lines. Graph these for you real quick, just so you can see. X equals 2. X equals 2. That's right here. That would be going this way. Does it have a slope at x equaling 2? Is there a slope at x equaling 2? No, it is undefined. Okay. Y equaling negative 4. Does it have a slope? Yeah, its slope is 0. All right. Thank you for all of you who stayed awake. That's fantastic on a wonderful math lesson on a Monday morning. Yeah. Not quite as many as you think. Just a couple of problems there for your practice. Submit if you haven't submitted yet. For last night or from the weekend. And thank you very much.